This is the demonstration of oscillator 3 of the Nucleus. This is the digital oscillator. The other two are analog. So we're just going to look at the features that the digital oscillator provides us. It has multiple waveforms, multi-mod like all the other ones, but it has a special effect. All oscillators are different, and so is this one. The first wave is a basic sine wave. And that can be used to do FM to oscillator 2, or, whatever. It also has a unique waveform. It has a triangle to saw waveform. And then it has PWM. And then there's the users. There's 10 of these. And I haven't selected them all yet, but there will be 10 different ones, and you can wave modulate between them. Here's the carpless drum. And then we have the swarm waveform. And lastly, we have noise. Well, let's take a look. Since you can morph all of these under the wave modulation effect, let's take a listen to each of those. I have this connected to oscillator 1. Triangle to saw oscillation, pretty cool. And you can PWM all the way to 0. Can be useful, actually, because that way you can cut oscillator 3 out by going to 100% or 0%. You can actually use that feature. Now, when we go to the string function, the waveform modulation has a new effect. Let's take a listen. Oscillator allows you to restrike the oscillator. Which is neat. LFOs have a built-in delay, so we can do something there too. It's kind of fun. Let's put just a tiny bit of a delay here. Pretty neat. Very cool. But let's take a look at the noise source, because this is not just your standard noise source. It is a digital noise source. And so one of the things you can do, which is the special effect of oscillator 3. Oscillator 1's special effect is to adjust the sub-oscillator waveform, has that filter in it. Effect for oscillator 2 is to either give you hard sync with its own fourth dedicated oscillator, or to give you FM depth with its own VCA coming from oscillator 3. But oscillator 3 effects is basically a sample reducer bit crusher. So if you apply that to the noise, you get something like this. Which sounds familiar if you're into the 8-bit games. And of course you can modulate that effect. I have that set to LFO 2. Fun. Especially if you're an old geezer like me and grew up playing Atari games, and that's how you got the cool explosion sounds and everything else. But it has a cool effect on some other things too. So let's go back to the string physical modeling, basically. And let's make sure we've got some restrike on here. We'll get rid of that delay. Wow, cool. waveform. Digital oscillator number 3.